fellow Africans and friends of Africa. Welcome to our comprehensive overview of Africa and the African Union. In today's video, we'll dive deep into the rich history, objectives, achievements, challenges, and initiatives of the African Union, exploring its significance and impact on the continent. From the ancient origins of the name Africa to the present-day operations of the African Union, we'll uncover fascinating insights and stories that shape Africa's past, present, and future. So, if you're ready to learn more about the vibrant tapestry of cultures, civilizations, and aspirations that define Africa, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, share this video with your friends, and leave your thoughts in the comments below. Let's get started. Africa, the second largest continent on Earth, boasts unparalleled diversity and cultural richness across its vast expanse. With numerous countries and a mosaic of languages, traditions, and ethnic groups, it stands as a testament to human civilization's tapestry. What does the name Africa mean? From where it originated? According to Encyclopedia Britannica, in ancient times, the Greeks referred to the continent as Libya, while the Romans bestowed upon it the name Africa. This name likely originated from the Latin word aprica, meaning sunny, or the Greek word Africae, meaning without cold. Initially, Africa primarily denoted the northern coast, often considered a southern extension of Europe. The Romans, who briefly held dominion over the North African coast, also referred to the region south of their settlements as Afriga, or the land of the Afrigs, named after a Berber community south of Carthage. There are several theories that attempt to explain the origin of the name Africa. These are: 1. The Phoenician theory. The Phoenicians were a Semitic people who lived in what is now Lebanon. They were a major seafaring power in the ancient world, and they were the first known people to sail to Africa. The Phoenicians may have named Africa after the dusty desert landscape, which they would have seen when they first arrived on the continent. 2. The Berber theory. The Berbers are a group of indigenous people who live in North Africa. They are the descendants of the Phoenicians and other ancient peoples who lived in this region. The Berbers may have adopted the name Africa from the Phoenicians, or they may have come up with it on their own. 3. The Latin theory. The Romans conquered North Africa in the 1st century BC. They named this region Africa, and this name eventually came to be used for the entire continent. The Romans may have chosen this name because of the warm weather in Africa, or they may have simply adopted the name from the Phoenicians or Berbers for. The Oromo theory. This theory posits that ancient Cushitic peoples, particularly the Oromos of Eastern Africa, referred to Africa as Liban. This term is widely shared among Cushitic family languages. Dr. Gamechu Megersa, a highly regarded anthropologist, staunchly supports this theory, asserting that Liban was used as an ancient name for the African continent even before the term Africa emerged. 5. Alkebulan theory. Alkebulan in biblical references. While the name Alkebulan does not appear directly in the Bible, some individuals connect it to biblical references, associating it with the land of Cush or the land of Ham. However, it is important to note that such interpretations are subject to different scholarly opinions. Believed to be derived from Arabic and various indigenous African languages, Alkebulan translates to the land of the blacks or the mother of mankind. It reflects the deep historical roots and the significant contributions of African civilizations to human history. Do you have a corresponding alternative local name for Africa in your African mother tongue or tradition? Feel free to share in the comments. The history of Africa begins with the emergence of hominids, archaic humans, and around 300,000, 250,000 years ago, anatomically modern humans, Homo sapiens, in East Africa, and continues unbroken into the present as a patchwork of diverse and politically developing nation-states. Africa's history, before the onset of colonialism, is a tapestry woven with the richness of diverse civilizations, cultures, and societies. The continent boasted illustrious civilizations such as ancient Egypt, known for its monumental architecture, sophisticated writing systems, and complex administrative structures along the Nile River. Additionally, civilizations like Kush, Nubia, Aksum, Ghana, Mali, Songhai, and Zimbabwe thrived, engaging in extensive trade networks and contributing to cultural exchanges across the continent. These societies, alongside stateless communities such as the San and Igbo, demonstrated diverse social structures, cultural practices, and economic systems showcasing Africa's vibrant diversity. The Islamic expansion into Africa from the 7th century onwards brought new influences, contributing to the rise of vibrant city-states along the Swahili coast in Eastern Africa and powerful empires in West Africa. The legendary city of Timbuktu emerged as a center of learning and commerce, attracting scholars from across the Muslim world. Despite their differences, these societies flourished through trade, agriculture, and cultural interaction, leaving lasting legacies that continue to shape Africa's identity. With exceptions of a few places like the Empire of Ethiopia, Christianity was introduced to Africa by European colonizers in the 19th century. The late 19th century marked the advent of European colonialism in Africa as European powers vied for control of the continent's resources and territories. The Berlin Conference of 1884-1885 formalized the partitioning of Africa, leading to the imposition of colonial rule and the exploitation of its peoples and resources. European colonizers introduced cash crop agriculture, extractive industries, and forced labor systems, leading to the dispossession of land and economic exploitation of indigenous populations. Socially and culturally, colonialism had profound consequences as European powers imposed their languages, religions, and norms on African societies, eroding indigenous cultures and identities. Traditional governance systems were undermined, and artificial borders were drawn without regard for existing ethnic and tribal divisions, sowing the seeds for future conflicts. However, the mid-20th century witnessed a wave of nationalist movements leading to the decolonization of Africa and the formation of the Organization of African Unity, OAU. Ghana's independence in 1957 under Kwame Nkrumah marked a watershed moment, inspiring liberation movements across the continent. In the subsequent years, African nations gained independence from colonial rule, heralding a new era of nation-building and forming continental umbrella of OAU in 1963 for further decolonization and cooperation, which was a predecessor of the AU. Fast forward to the present, and we have the African Union, established in 2002 with a vision to promote integration, prosperity, and peace across Africa. The African Union, AU, stands as a beacon of hope and unity for the continent, evolving from the Organization of African Unity, OAU, established in 1963. Rooted in the principles of Pan-Africanism, the AU was officially launched on July 9, 2002, with a vision to promote integration, prosperity, and peace across Africa. This comprehensive overview delves into the history, objectives, structure, achievements, challenges, and initiatives of the African Union, elucidating its significance and impact on the continent. The journey towards the establishment of the African Union can be traced back to the founding of the Organization of African Unity, OAU, on May 25, 1963, in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Conceived during a critical period of decolonization and liberation struggles, the OAU aimed to unite African nations, eradicate colonialism and apartheid, and foster unity and solidarity among member states. The guiding philosophy of Pan-Africanism underscored the collective aspirations for freedom, equality, and justice. Over the years, the OAU played a pivotal role in coordinating African states' efforts to achieve independence, address common challenges, and advocate for African interests on the global stage. However, as Africa's socio-economic and political landscape evolved, there arose a need for a more robust and dynamic continental organization capable of addressing contemporary issues and driving comprehensive development. The transition from the O to the African Union was catalyzed by key milestones such as the Abuja Treaty of 1991 and the Sirte Declaration of 1999. These pivotal moments signaled a paradigm shift towards greater cooperation, integration, and development across the continent. On July 9, 2002, the African Union was officially launched in Durban, South Africa, marking a new chapter in Africa's collective journey towards unity and progress. The African Union's core objectives, as per its Constitutive Act and Protocol on Amendments, encompass enhancing unity, defending sovereignty, and accelerating socio-economic integration. It aims to foster solidarity, advocate for African interests globally, and encourage partnerships for development, upholding democratic values, promoting peace, and ensuring human rights are crucial. Additionally, it seeks sustainable growth, coordination for prosperity, and engagement with the diaspora for a stronger Africa. The African Union operates through a multi-layered institutional framework comprising several organs and bodies responsible for policy formulation, decision-making, implementation, and oversight. These organs include 1. The Assembly of Heads of State and Government, the highest decision-making body composed of all AU member state leaders. 2. The Executive Council, responsible for coordinating policies and decisions, composed of foreign ministers or designated authorities from member states. 3. The Permanent Representatives Committee, PRC, prepares the work of the Executive Council, composed of permanent representatives and plenipotentiaries of member states. 4. Specialized technical committees, thematic committees focusing on key AU projects and programs, comprising ministers or senior officials from member states. 5. The Peace and Security Council, responsible for conflict prevention, management, and resolution, composed of 15 elected member states. 6. The African Union Commission, the AU's secretariat responsible for implementing policies and programs, led by a chairperson, deputy chairperson, and commissioners. 7. The Pan-African Parliament provides a platform for African legislators to discuss and address continental issues, headquartered in Johannesburg. 8. The Economic, Social and Cultural Council, advisory organ representing civil society, organizations and social and professional groups from member states. 9. Judicial, human rights and legal organs, including the African Commission on Human and People's Rights, African Court on Human and People's Rights, AU Commission on International Law, AU Advisory Board Against Corruption, and African Committee of Experts on the Rights and Welfare of the Child. 10. Financial institutions. Proposed institutions include the African Central Bank, African Investment Bank, and African Monetary Fund. 11. African Peer Review Mechanism, APRM, a mechanism for fostering good governance and political stability through peer review among member states. 12. Regional Economic Communities, RECs, and Regional Mechanisms, RMs. Regional groupings facilitating economic integration and conflict prevention within Africa. Examples are COMESA, ECOWAS, IGADI, SADIS, and others. The African Union's notable achievements include establishing the African Continental Free Trade Area, AfCFTA, in 2021, fostering intra-African trade, and advancing regional economic integration. Additionally, its peacekeeping efforts have contributed to stability and security across various African countries. Despite its achievements, the African Union faces significant challenges hindering its effectiveness. 1. Political instability and conflicts across Africa undermine peace and development. 2. Socio-economic disparities and poverty worsen inequalities and impede inclusive growth. 3. Weak governance, corruption, and lack of accountability erode democracy and the rule of law. 4. Infrastructural deficits and limited resources hamper program implementation. 5. External pressures and interference complicate independent continental issue resolution. 6. Colonial legacies, like using colonial languages, persist, hindering unity and inclusivity. 7. Health crises threaten public health and socio-economic stability. Addressing these challenges requires comprehensive strategies and collective efforts. The African Union is advancing its objectives through initiatives like strengthening governance structures, mobilizing investments in infrastructure and technology, promoting regional integration via AfCFTA, investing in peace and security, fostering partnerships with international organizations, and prioritizing youth empowerment and gender equality for sustainable development. Now let us delve into the AU headquarter complex and about the unique status host city of the Union, the African Union Conference Center and Office Complex, AUCC, stands as a prominent landmark in the capital, serving as the primary venue for AU operations and hosting biannual summits as AU headquarter. Rising 99.9 meters, 328 feet above the city's skyline, it ranks as the second tallest building in Addis Ababa, a testament to the continent's aspirations and unity. Construction of the AUCC was made possible through a significant investment of $200 million, primarily funded by the Chinese government. Collaboratively designed and built by Tongji University, China State Construction Engineering, and the China Architecture and Design Research Group, the architecture of the AUCC, is a striking blend of traditional African art and modern Pan-African symbolism. The design of the complex, resembling two hands in an embrace, symbolizes the strong ties between Africa and China. While the design incorporates elements of African heritage, including traditional art and symbolism, the majority of materials used in construction was sourced from China. Additionally, much of the artwork adorning the walls was produced in China. Construction of the AUCC spanned 3 years and involved a workforce of South 200, with approximately half of the laborers being Ethiopian and the other half Chinese. Adjacent to the main building stands the headquarters of the AU Peace and Security Council, a $30 million gift from the German government. Unlike the main complex, this building was constructed using local materials and Ethiopian contractors, highlighting a commitment to regional cooperation and stability. However, the choice of location for the AUCC has been met with criticism. The site was formerly the location of the Alem Beykarn prison, which was used during the Italian occupation of Ethiopia and later by Haile Selassie and Mengistu Haile Mariam to house political prisoners. Survivors of the prison's atrocities expressed disappointment over the AU's lack of acknowledgement of the site's troubled history. Despite these controversies, the AUCC boasts a 20-story office tower, a plenary chamber with a capacity of 2,505 people, and a sub-conference building with 32 conference rooms. Both the AUCC and the Peace and Security Building are designed to be environmentally friendly, utilizing passive cooling systems to control the building's climates without excessive energy consumption. Additionally, the complex features the African Union Grand Hotel, financed by Ethiopian Saudi billionaire Mohammed Hussein Al Amoudi and operated by Westin. This hotel primarily caters to hosting presidents and diplomats during AU summits, adding a touch of luxury to the compound. In 2017, concerns were raised regarding potential security breaches, with reports suggesting that the AUCC's computer systems were connecting nightly to servers in China. However, subsequent investigations found no evidence of wrongdoing, and the AUCC continues to operate as the headquarters of the African Union. Nestled in the heartland of Oromia, the birthplace of Yadesa Bojia, the mastermind behind the iconic design of the African Union flag and the homeland of the renowned poet and author of the African Union Anthem, Laureate Tsegaye Gebremehin, lies Finfinne, the vibrant host city of the AU. This illustrious connection to two visionary figures amplifies the significance of Finfinne and underscores the pivotal role of the state of Oromia and the Oromo people within the Ethiopian Federation. Yadesa Bojia's visionary design of the African Union flag, with its bold colors and symbolic emblem, epitomizes the aspirations of the continent for unity, peace, and progress. Born and raised in Oromia, artist Yadesa Bojia drew inspiration from the rich cultural tapestry and spirit of resilience ingrained in the Oromo people. His creation, now proudly displayed as a symbol of Pan-Africanism, emanates from the very soil of Oromia, reflecting the region's profound influence on the continent's collective identity. Similarly, Tsegaye Gebremedihin, a towering figure in African literature and culture, hails from the fertile lands of Oromia. His stirring words, immortalized in the African anthem, resonate with the dreams and aspirations of generations across the continent. rooted in the ethos of Cushitic, particularly in the Oromo heritage and traditions. Gebremedan's poetry embodies the spirit of unity, freedom, and dignity that defines the African Union's mission. The presence of these visionary figures from Oromiyaa enhances the significance of Finfinne as the AU headquarters, reflecting the region's cultural richness and historical legacy. As the birthplace of the AU flag and Anthem's architects, Oromiyaa symbolizes Africa's past, present, and future connections. The legacies of these sons of Oromiyaa enrich Finfinne narrative, highlighting the profound significance of Oromiyaa within the Ethiopian Federation. Their contributions underscore the enduring spirit of Pan-Africanism that resonates throughout the continent. As Africa's diplomatic capital, Finfinne stands as a testament to unity, diversity, and resilience, embodying the African Union's vision for a brighter future. Finfinne, as the capital of the state of Oromia, the seat of Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, the AU, Africa CDC, AU Peace and Security Council, and UN-ECA. As Africa's diplomatic capital, Finfinne plays a pivotal role in advancing the ideals of Pan-Africanism and fostering unity among African nations. You might be curious about the location of Finfinne and wonder if Addis Ababa is indeed the city hosting the African Union. Finfinne, as the capital city of Oromiyaa, holds deep historical, cultural, geographical, and legal connections to the Oromo people. Being the largest state in Ethiopia in terms of population, territory, and economic contribution, Oromiyaa represents the diversity and vibrancy of the nation. Its capital, Finfinne, buzzes with the liveliness of a bustling metropolis, yet it cherishes the cultural heritage and traditions of its Oromo heritage. The annual Oromiyaa celebration, rooted in the indigenous Oromo religion, is a significant event in Finfinne happening every October. With over 5 million attendees, including Oromos and people from various backgrounds, it's renowned as the largest African festival. The indigenous Cushitic African language, Afan Oromo, spoken by 50-70 million Oromos in Oromia, Kenya, and parts of Somalia as a first language, and by 10-15 million neighboring peoples as a second language, adds to the cultural richness of the region. The city hosting the headquarters of the AU, Finfinne or Addis Ababa, stands as one of the busiest diplomatic hubs globally, after New York, Geneva, and Brussels. It also serves as the home to various international organizations, including Africa CDC, AU Peace and Security Council, and the UN-ECA. Officially recognized as Addis Ababa by the federal government of Ethiopia according to the federal constitution, the city holds additional significance as Finfinne as per the constitution of the state of Oromia. Inspiration from Adwa victory, catalyst for Pan-Africanism and an Africanness celebrated by world-class Oromo athletes. Oromiyaa, anchored by its capital Finfinne, has left an indelible mark on Ethiopia's narrative, resonating across Africa and beyond. Though Oromos are marginalized throughout history within the annals of history, Oromo generals emerged as pivotal figures during key moments of resistance against European colonization, notably in the decisive Adwa victory of 1896. Among the 12 esteemed war generals who orchestrated the defense at Adwa, the majority hailed from the Oromo community. Figures like Ras Mikael Ali, Dejak Balkasafo, Ras Abebe Arigai Bechere, and Dejak Bekeleweya, led with valor and strategic acumen, repelling Italian forces and safeguarding Africa's sovereignty. Beyond Ethiopia's borders, the Oromo legacy intertwined with broader African liberation movements. Nelson Mandela, the venerated icon of anti-apartheid struggle in South Africa, found tutelage under Lieutenant General Tadesse Biru, a cornerstone of the Oromo Liberation Front. This cross-border collaboration underscored the solidarity and shared vision among African nationalists, transcending geographical boundaries to confront colonial oppression collectively. Furthermore, Oromiyaa stands as a fertile ground for exceptional athletic talent, fostering a lineage of champions who embody African excellence. From the legendaries like Abebe Bikila, Wami Biratu, to contemporary athletes like Derartu Tulu, Kenenisa Bekele, Haile Gebrselassie, Tirunesh Dibaba, Sileshi Sihine, Yomif Kejelcha Sifan Hassan, Tadesse Tola, and many others. Oromo athletes have adorned the global stage with their prowess and resilience. Their achievements resonate beyond mere sporting triumphs, symbolizing the pride and determination of Oromiyaa, Ethiopia, and Africa as a whole. Challenges in achieving inclusive, equitable, and just development of the city. Despite its rich cultural heritage and symbolic significance, Finfinne confronts a myriad of critiques and challenges, many stemming from deep-rooted injustices of the past. The city's name variation reflects historical grievances, with rapid urbanization and infrastructure development exacerbating tensions by displacing indigenous Oromo clans from their ancestral lands, leading to accusations of ethnic cleansing, marginalization, and social inequality. Communities like Gulal, Eka, Galan, and Abichu, indigenous to Finfinne, have borne the brunt of these injustices. Furthermore, the city's recently expanding population and economy have intensified pressure on adjacent Oromo communities, exacerbating disparities. Addressing these historical injustices and providing redress for ethnic cleansing are essential for fostering reconciliation, social cohesion, and sustainable development. Inclusive urban planning, equitable resource allocation, and meaningful stakeholder engagement, particularly with indigenous communities, are imperative to build a more just and inclusive society in Finfinne. Only through acknowledging and rectifying past wrongs can the city truly fulfill its potential as a beacon of African diversity, resilience, and progress in Ethiopia. Therefore, Finfinne, hosting the AU within the Ethiopian Federation, serves as more than a mere geographical location. It embodies the rich heritage, culture, and struggles of the Oromo people throughout history. The transition from Finfinne to Addis Ababa reflects complex historical, cultural, and political dynamics in Ethiopia, highlighting shifts in power, identity, and representation over time. While officially designated as Addis Ababa by the federal government, Finfinne remains a poignant symbol of Oromo heritage and resistance. Oromiyaa's significant contributions to Ethiopia's historical struggles, its influence on Pan-African liberation movements, its indigenous democratic governance through the Gada system, and the enduring legacy of its athletes collectively weave a tapestry of African resilience, solidarity, and excellence that reverberates across continents and generations. In conclusion, the AU has navigated challenges and achieved significant milestones. Through its various organs, initiatives, and partnerships, the AU continues to work towards its vision of an integrated, prosperous, and peaceful Africa. However, realizing this vision requires concerted efforts, political will, and collaboration among member states, stakeholders, and partners. Finfinne, as the headquarters of the AU, serves as a crucial institution driving Africa's agenda for unity, development, and progress. From its inception as the OAU to its evolution into the AU, Finfinne or Addis Ababa stands as a cultural epicenter and symbol of Pan-African identity, reflecting the rich heritage, traditions, and aspirations of the entire African continent. Through its associations with visionary figures like artist Yadesa Segaya, Finfinne embodies the spirit of Pan-Africanism and inspires hope across the continent. Despite challenges, the city offers numerous opportunities for growth and positive change, reaffirming its role as a dynamic hub of culture, diplomacy, and progress in Africa. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Africa's history and the significance of the AU. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment. Together, let's build a brighter future for Africa. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.